welcome to Invercargill for the 2012 UCI Junior World Track Cycling Championships. Racing over 5 days, the very elite of the world cyclists will be battling it out on the boards at the Invercargill velodrome. While the London Olympics are still very fresh in everyone's minds, the focus is now 4 years ahead to Rio de Janeiro, and many of the riders here are vying for positions in their national Olympic teams and squads. What better way to make a statement than with a World Championship title?
Yeah, it's a fantastic achievement, I think, for the region and for New Zealand to have a major international event here like this.
Yeah, it's been a major logistical undertaking, really, but I guess, we're fortunate in many regards that we're doing it, in a place like Invercargill. There's been a real community spirit in terms of support from all sorts of organisations, both from funding agencies and sponsors and the like. It's been a team effort, there's no doubt about that, and just a delightful result for us.
I mean, you've got people from all around the world here. Czechoslovakia, France, England, Russia, Ukraine. I mean, it is brilliant. And just seeing what the state of world cycling's like at a junior level, which is obviously, indicative of what the future of cycling will be. So it's cool to have it down here in our part of the world.
Yeah, cycling's been on a growth wave for a long time, and I mean, the Olympics is just huge. I mean, we had a good result, and I think this just really backs it up. And the really exciting thing is that this is the next wave of Olympians coming through.
For New Zealand junior track cycling, this is the best thing they could do to inspire them to win medals at the Olympics and hopefully gold.
And the level of competition for most of these riders here will be bigger than they've ever experienced before. So it really is a snapshot of where they're at on the international stage, and often will set them up for their careers to come.
The first medal race, the men's team pursuit. 4,000 metres, one team on each side of the track. 4 riders start, at least 3 must finish. First team to complete the distance will be the 2012 World Champions. Australia, the defending champions, start in the back straight, and the fastest qualifiers in New Zealand in the front straight.
Red line to red line. Kiwis come round to do one lap. Aussies in front here at the moment.
With 2 laps to go, the Australians had a handy lead, but were down to just 3 riders, as were the New Zealanders, desperate to claw back some time. The Australian team started to look ragged as the Kiwis threw everything they had at them. 2.5 seconds the time gap.
Here's the bell lap, here's the bell lap, here's the Aussies. Round they come, they've got half a lap to go, the Aussies. I think they're going to do it. I think the Aussies are going to do it. The Kiwis are flying. But it's Australia in the back straight, and well done Australia, and let's have a look at the time, 4:06.277. The Ockers have struck again.
Australia, the first gold on the medal table, New Zealand with the silver, and a bronze in the earlier ride for Russia.
I think we sort of just went out more to just race the Kiwis and just get as much out of ourselves that we could, and whether that was a quick time or not, it didn't matter as long as we got the world title.
Yeah, it's definitely something to be proud of. But we're all pretty gutted, and but what can you do? Aussie came out and really performed, so yeah.
On to the women's race. 3 riders, 3,000 metres, and all 3 riders must finish. Australia were the fastest qualifiers, defending champions and world record holders that time, a 3:26. They were up against New Zealand, Cassie Cameron of Wanganui, Alicia Keith from Otago, and Raquel Sheath from Auckland.
Who will be taking home the gold medal? We're going to be finding out in the very near future with 12 laps of 3,000 metres in front of these riders here.
The Australians look to have the race well under control. Could they beat their own world record?
Well, down the back straight, it is Australia, but New Zealand cheer them on. They've still got just over half a lap to go. Cheer on the Kiwis, but here comes the Australians up the front straight. Swing up the track, 3 across the breast. Gold medalists, and look at the time, 3:24.372, a new world record.
World record time, outstanding, 3:24.372. Not only a world record, but they've absolutely blitzed it here.
2 from 2 for the Australian pursuiters, another gold and a world record, another silver to New Zealand and bronze for Great Britain.
We knew we kind of held back in the qualifying, but we also didn't know if the other team held back as well and didn't know how much they were capable of. Yeah. So it was really nerve-wracking for all of us, I guess. Yeah. So, yeah.
I think the track's really fast. I'm really happy with how we went. I thought we were going fast, like it felt really good, and I'm really happy with the end result.
The second of the team events, the team sprint, and the gold medal ride between Australia and Russia. It's a 3-lap race, 3 riders per team. Each rider does 1 lap at the front and swings off when they've finished that lap. Australia were the fastest qualifiers, represented by the formidable trio of Zach Shaw, Jacob Schmid and Emerson Harwood. The Russian team included Alexander Dubchenko, Vladislav Fedin and Alexander Sharapov.
The Russians, the Aussies, nothing in it. The Aussies up by 0.3.76. Round they come. Aussie in front here, they're giving it heap. The Russians are coming back a wee bit. No, it's 0.548. The Aussies, the Russians in the front straight now as they come round. The Aussies are slow, the Russians coming back at them. Here's the Oz. Can we get another world record? Let's have a look. They're coming down to it. Oh, I don't think so. No, just outside it.
So it looked like another gold for Australia. But moments before the medal ceremony, news that they had been relegated to second for an illegal transition. The second rider is not allowed to hit the front until the first rider has completed their lap. So Russia ended up on top of the dais, Australia bumped to second, and Mexico beat New Zealand for the bronze. Next up, the women's team sprint. 2 riders, 1 lap each, 500 metres the distance. For New Zealand, it was Victoria Steele of Christchurch and Paige Patterson of Auckland. But they were up against the defending world champions, the Russians, Daria Shmileva and Lydia Plutsnikova, who had broken the world record in qualifying.
Russians at the moment have got the advantage. As they come through, they'll start to drift on up for their second rider. Up she goes there, and they've now got 15 metres over the Kiwis. The Russians at the moment in top spot. Can they hold on to it as the fast-finishing Kiwis start to come back at them? 1.1 second difference. It's a long way, but the Russians are going to do it as they come to the line. Russia, too fast. 34.155. An outstanding time, folks.
Indeed it was, breaking their own world record twice in 1 day. So Russia with the gold, New Zealand again the silver, but this time going 1 better than the Australians.
Yeah, we're really happy. We both did personal bests in our laps. We're real happy to come away with the national record too. And we had heaps of fun doing it. Yeah.
So we didn't expect such a good result. We hope that we can show very good seconds, but not so good. So we are unbelievable and we are very happy.
For most of the cyclists competing, the Invercargill velodrome is the furthest they've been from home. And for the Trinidad and Tobagans, it's from the tropics to the deep south.
Wake up, breakfast. Our body is not accustomed to the cold. Somebody has to sacrifice. Look out for the bus. And then when the bus is here, everybody just run to the bus. They won't be outside too long. Back home we have outdoor 450 track. It's nothing like this. Out here we have top of the line facilities back home. There's none of that. We train on it's not really good. That's really good, but we have to bear with what we have, use what we have, and use it to the best of our abilities. Well, our goals in a couple of years to come will be to be competing, not just come out here to see what it's like, to be really competing with the other countries, to be up there with them. Because we came out here for the experience, to see what it's like, and now we know what we have to do. Back home, how we have to train, how hard we have to train, where we're at, or where we need to be.
Another night and another sellout crowd trackside. On the line, ready to roll out, the starters for the men's 10-kilometre scratch race. First rider to complete the 40 laps is the winner. Stronger riders are looking for the lone breakaway, and the sprinters want to keep it all together until the finish. We picked the race up in the closing stages with a breakaway group of 3 riders, including New Zealand's Hamish Schruers, but they're being hunted down by the hard-chasing peloton. Back in the bunch are 3 riders who earlier took a lap on the field: Belarusian Anton Mizichkin, Colombian Jordan Parra and Robert Gayeniev of Kazakhstan. So these 3 riders have an extra lap advantage over the rest of the field.
He's decided to go and wind things up, but here comes Japan round the outside. Makushkin, though, going with him. Number 78 in your program. He's riding his way into the gold at the moment. Down the back straight he goes. The man from Belarus, he could be going into the gold medal world championship title as they come to the line. The man from Belarus cruises across there and takes out a fine victory here in the scratch race here at the Junior World Champs.
So for the Belarusian Anton Mizichkin, third in the final sprint was good enough for gold, having that 1-lap advantage. First medal on the board for Belarus and a world championship title. Emotions were running high in the Colombian camp with Parra's silver medal. And it was bronze for Kazakhstan's Gayeniev. Moving on to the women's 500-metre time trial, a pure race against the clock. 1 rider on the track, 500 metres, 2 laps. The fastest rider will win gold. The fastest time so far, 35.7 seconds.
She's on a bit of a case here. She's going to have to do something this week. And the Scottish coach, minus .304. She's on a bit of a roll here. Come on, Elise, get up there. Right, Elise, minus .304, minus .255. She's going to take top billing, but she's going to have to hurry up. She's going to have to hurry up. Yes, she has. She's got something out of this week. Wow, that's good. Let's have a look at the time. 35.625.
The ride from Alice Litley put her on top of the standings with 1 rider to go. Daria Shmileva, the 17-year-old based in Moscow, already 1 gold medal in the team sprint. The time now to beat Litley's 35.6, and that world record stands at 34.7.
Rightio, no red flag. Here we go. Here's Daria, the pocket rocket from Russia. Round she goes, the current world record holder. She's holding well. We want a minus. We want a big minus. Minus .575. Unreal. Unreal. Minus .575. The Russians are coming to town. Minus .799. Minus .799. Down the back straight. We want to go under the minute here. Minus .917. She's
We're on track for a real record, folks.
Minus .917. Minus .9. 34.753.
A new world record.
34.753. And get up out of your seats. Start clapping and don't stop until next week. Daria, the pocket rocket. You little beauty. Well.
Second gold medal for Shmileva and another world record. You get the feeling this is a rider we'll be seeing a lot more of in the years to come. Her time left Alice Litley with the silver and Shmileva's Russian teammate Lydia Plutsnikova with the bronze. Congratulations, and we hope we see you racing again in New Zealand.
Поздравляю и надеюсь увидеть вас снова на гонках в Новой Зеландии.
Of course, thank you. Yeah, I know what's coming, but with the European Championship, she rides so fast, and it's incredible. But with the European Championship, I beat her in the sprint. I was a European champion, but she rides so fast.
On to the men's 1,000-metre time trial, 4 gut-busting laps of the 250-metre track. New Zealand represented by 17-year-old Dylan Kennett from Waimate. Already a silver medal in the team pursuit and a busy schedule, competing in 4 different events in total. He's one of the young riders with Rio de Janeiro firmly in his sights. The kilometre time trial is about starting strong, getting up to speed as quickly as possible and then holding on until the finish. Fastest time so far, the time to beat, 1:04.9.
Dylan Kennett, minus 5:42. He's on a mission. He's on a big one. Dylan Kennett, minus 5:11. He's going to hold it together now. He is holding it together. I can tell. Go boy, go boy. Minus 6:26. He's building brilliantly. One to go. Here's a go. Here's a go. Minus 9:20. Minus 9:20. Hold it together, man. Hold it together, Dylan Kennett. Minus 1.3. Brilliant. Dylan Kennett. Dylan Kennett. Beauty. 1:02.
Kennett sets the new fastest time and a New Zealand junior record, but still over half the field to ride, including Australian Zach Shaw, the 17-year-old from Victoria. Kennett's 1:02.9 is now the time to beat.
Okay, good start there. Pretty powerful out of the start gates as he gets out of the blocks there. So away we go. Zachary Shaw from Australia. Can he get up there to the time of Dylan Bennett? He's looking for the plus or minuses, so he's just outside 0.356 and a ranking of third in the first half lap. Comes down now, 3 laps to go. Puts himself into the time trial bar position on the bike, into the aerodynamic position. Got to really keep the power going. Ranked 4 at the moment, 0.446. Still up on that, about half a second up in the leader's time. Will get stronger though as the race goes on. 2 laps to go. Urged on by his coach there in the front straight, David Short. Now moved up into a ranking of second, but still outside the time of Dylan Bennett. Now we're getting a bit closer. Plus 2.293, still ranked second. Bell lap that time, plus 0.040. This is going to be close. The Australian Zachary Shaw down the back straight. Half a lap to go. He's now in front, ranked 1. Minus 0.289 into the finishing straight, urged along by his coach. And the final ranking, the new leader, 1:02.303.
With that blistering time, it's disappointment for Kennett bumped 1 spot and anxious moments for the Australian as he waits for the 8 remaining riders to post their times.
Whilst I was walking in circles on the rollers, and as I said, there was negative splits, and I'm going, oh God, and then that slowly died. I'm like, yes, 2 more to go, 1 more to go, and yeah, did a victory lap, so it was good.
I think me and the support crew, we thought that we had the rainbows, so I was gutting to have it taken away from me, but it was an amazing performance by Zach. Yeah, he deserves it, and yeah, no, it's just mixed emotions, yeah.
Well, Australia have got a massive program, and I think we've been playing catch-up for some time. They've got 5 covered velodromes, they've got more than 3,000 coaches. I mean, it's a huge, I guess, head start, but the fact that we're actually so close, I think that's what gives me a lot of hope when we've only just begun that. We're a much smaller nation, we've only got this 1 great facility, soon we'll have 2. And yeah, unfortunately, every time we've stepped up and have had someone ride a personal best and a national record, they have too.
Yeah, we've got a great program. Obviously it starts at the VIS, and then once you make the national team, people like Rick Fulcher and Sean Eadie and all the coaches all help you out.
This is the group we're looking forward to Rio 2016. We've got some world champions from last year in Taylor Jennings, Jack Cummings as well, Alex Morgan, just to name a couple. So certainly there'll be this crop that's there. It's very tough, but we'll be looking for them in 4 years' time.
Yeah, well, we have heard Advance Australia fare quite a lot, but you've got to hand it to the Australians. I mean, from the moment they rolled into town, unquestionably, it looked like they meant business, and that's transpired too with the way they've gone. New Zealand, though, certainly I think that's one of the great things, is that what we are seeing is, I guess, a bit more of an injection and awareness at this junior and development level on a national basis, and I think we're seeing the fruits of that over the last 2 years, and for them to have backed up the wonderful performances that they had in Moscow 12 months ago at these Junior World Championships, and I guess almost take it to another level this time round is fantastic news for the future of the sport, particularly looking to 2016 in the Rio Olympics.
Australia always so strong in the sprint and endurance events in both the men's and women's fields. No surprise that going into the women's 20 kilometre points race, Taylor Jennings from Rockhampton was hot favourite. There were also high hopes for New Zealand's Sophie Williamson, who won the bronze medal in the same event last year. The points race is one of the more tactical events, with riders contesting sprints throughout the race, accumulating points as they go. At the end of the race, the rider with the most amount of points, not necessarily the first across the finishing line, is the winner. As expected, it was a trans-Tasman battle, with Jennings and Williamson dominating the intermediate sprints. Great Britain's Amy Roberts was also in the mix.
Folks, there's your first, second and third on the leaderboard going down the back straight. Is anyone going to upset them going down? Jennings is riding away from them. Here she comes, the world champion, Taylor Jennings of Australia, folks. She does it in style. She takes out another one and she secures for herself a 2012 world title here in Invercargill.
Another gold for Australia and Taylor Jennings second of the championships. 37 points left her 15 clear of Williamson and a further 8 back to Roberts.
Yeah, I was going into this event with pretty high expectations and I came away with the win, so I'm really happy.
Yeah, I was hoping for gold, but tonight I didn't have it against Taylor. She rode a perfect race for her, and I tried to make it my type of race, but it wasn't working, and I just tried my best.
Always a hive of activity at the Stadium Southland velodrome, with a heating system especially installed to help produce some fast times. Plenty of riders were feeling the heat. Moving on to the match sprint events, always a crowd favourite. And the first medal ride was for the women's bronze, with Auckland's Paige Patterson up against Californian Jennifer Valente. And it was the American leading the Kiwi out.
And round they come, Jennifer. So Valente goes to the lead here. She's got to win this. Paige is drifting off the back a bit. She's going to come home with a big rush. The Aucklander. Here she goes. Round she goes. Jennifer. Here's Paige on the outside. Paige. Jennifer. Paige. Paige. Paige.
So it was bronze for Patterson, a sprint specialist who had set the fastest time in qualifying.
I was really stoked with qualifying, because normally I'm, not the best qualifying, but to do that was pretty cool. Hadn't really sunk in still, I don't think, but just got beaten by the Aussie in the semis. Really good racing. She, was a better rider, and so to come away and fight back after losing the semis, it was really cool.
The ride for gold was between Russian Daria Shmileva, a face fast becoming familiar, and Australian Caitlin Ward. It's a best-of-3 format, and the Russian won the first race, leaving Ward in a must-win situation. With 2 gold medals already, Shmileva was coming in as hot favourite, but the Australian put up a strong fight.
Caitlin looks over the right shoulder, not looking over the left. She knows where Daria is. Down the back straight away, they click it up a wee bit. Caitlin's got to win this. Remember, the other one was so close, it was very close. Caitlin going to go out and lead up this time by the looks. Here we go. Are they committed to a sprint? We're looking likely now. Daria, Caitlin. Daria, Caitlin, Daria, Caitlin, just a wee bit of drift at the moment. She'll have to come home with a really big run. She's out of the seat, Daria. Daria's not looking back. Here's Caitlin. She's too far away, is she? She's too far away. Here's the big lunge on the outside. Oh, no, not again.
While it looked too close to call in real time, the replay showed that Daria Shmileva was the comfortable winner. Another gold, her third of the championships. Last year, the Russian woman won all 4 of the sprint events, and it certainly looks like they're on target to do the same again here at Invercargill. Gold for Shmileva, silver for Caitlin Ward, and bronze for New Zealand's Paige Patterson. The men's sprint, and it was Australia all the way. The final between Jacob Schmid and Emerson Harwood, with their teammate Zach Shaw having already secured the bronze earlier in the evening. The Australian riders are hard to distinguish after all bleaching their hair blonde, a long-standing Australian tradition, but it's Schmid here leading out Harwood.
He's going to control things off there. He's not going to the race line just yet. As he heads down the back straight, though, he gets out of the seat. He's decided to go this time around. Harwood waited. He thinks he's got the pace to come around him. Smith on the front. Harwood, Smith. Smith's going to be too strong in the end. Jacob Smith, he led from the very beginning, and he'll hold out his teammate, and he's overjoyed with it. And why wouldn't you be, folks? You've just become the junior world champion, folks. Jacob Smith of Australia.
Rivals on the track, but mates otherwise. No hard feelings between the teammates. Gold Jacob Schmid, silver Emerson Harwood, and bronze to Zach Shaw.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the result. Wasn't really expecting so much from this World Championships, but it feels great to have all the hard work and all the training hours and everything pay off.
3 more medals for the Australians, very satisfied with their results and very at home in Southland.
It's been good in Southland. The weather hasn't been too bad. We ride up the road, we get waves, cheers, people that are yelling out Aussie, 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 and everyone's just great.
Yeah, it's really nice here. I think it's quite similar to where I come from, like Tasmania, and yeah, the velodrome's really fast, good crowd, good atmosphere, and everyone's really nice.
Yeah, well, the velodrome's one of the best in the world, and I've been here 4 times already, and the elite athletes alike and the junior athletes all comment on the facility here, and it shows why Southland's such a well-recognised cycling hotspot, and it's a great venue.
The women's scratch race, 7.5 kilometres, 30 laps, with American Jennifer Valente hoping to defend the title she won last year. Also looking for a strong showing, Australian Georgia Baker, and in there for New Zealand, Sophie Williamson. Valente, known as a strong sprinter, wanted to keep it all together, whereas the likes of Williamson and Baker wanted to try and stretch the field out. It wasn't to be, which played into the hands of the American, and coming into the closing stages, it was all set up for a mass sprint.
3 to 4 wide here. Folks, start making your selections. Which of the countries will be crowned world champion? As we see a bit of a move there by Heletskaya of Russia. They are starting to move down, or Belarus, I should say. Just nudging down on the Australian, who's now gone to the front. Williamson following through with her. It's looking like a great battle coming into 2 laps to go, Mark.
Yes, certainly is. So it's Belarus on front. 6 out there, Maria Heletskaya. Then we see Georgia Baker from Australia in second wheel. Sophie Williamson from New Zealand back there in third. The Russian rider trying to get up around the outside. Americans up there also, and so too is Great Britain. Get the bell lap. This time it's Belarus in front. Heletskaya from Belarus. Baker from Australia moves out. Then we see also Valente there from the USA, the current world champion. Williamson wants somewhere to go. She's trying to get there. Sophie Williamson versus Georgia Baker and Jennifer Valente. Baker fights back on the inside. Will she get there? Valente, Baker, who's it going to be? Williamson. Jennifer Valente, for my money, will take out and regain her world championship.
But what appeared to be an American victory wasn't to be. Valente was disqualified for dangerous riding, which meant all the other riders moved up 1 position, Australian Georgia Baker into gold.
I was leading in, I was sitting on some other girl's wheel, and then I ended up coming around her and going into Bell Lap. And coming through the bend, I suppose she came down on me a little bit, and I was just trying to hold her off. I can't really remember exactly what happens. It's all a big blur at the moment, but so it was, I suppose, like a tough sprint, and rules are rules, I suppose. I can't really remember it, but it was just crazy at the end when we were sitting on the seats, and all of a sudden they just came up, both the other 2 girls just left, and then I heard that I got silver medal, and it's kind of almost more gutting, because I heard that far off getting a world title, rather be that far off getting silver, but happy in the end, so yeah.
A change in event to the individual pursuit, another race against the clock. This one, an endurance event, starting with the men racing over 3,000 metres. The gold medal ride was between Swiss rider Tom Bowley, the fastest qualifier in the front straight, and in action again, Dylan Kennett on the back straight. Just 0.3 of a second separated the 2 riders in qualifying.
Switzerland versus New Zealand. Who's it going to be? We're going to find out in about 3 minutes' time as they settle into their paces. Both, as we said, were very similar times this morning.
Kennett, 2 silver already this year and 2 bronze from last year's world champs, 17 years old from Waimate. And Bowley, 18 years old from St Gallen, the national track and road champion. For Kennett, it's a chance to impress the New Zealand selectors looking for a potential place in the Senior World Cup team at the end of the year. We pick up the commentary with 3 laps to go. It's Bowley for Switzerland with the advantage over New Zealand's Kennett, desperate to win New Zealand's first gold at these championships.
Under a second now between the two of them, folks. Who will be crowned world champion at 0.8 of a second difference? It's Switzerland still out in front, but Kennett is coming back at 0.9 of a second. The Swiss man is digging deeper. He wants to hold on to this with a lap to go. Who's got the most energy? The man from Switzerland holding on to it by just over a second at the moment. Ballet and Kennett. Ballet looks like he might have the wood on him at 1.3 seconds as they come to the line. The man from Switzerland, Tom Ballet, takes it out. The world title in 2012 heads to Switzerland's. An outstanding rider, 3:16, and Dylan Kennett of New Zealand secures the silver with 3:18. But folks, with an outstanding backing up from this morning, would you give it up for Tom Ballet of Switzerland?
And Dylan will bounce back, I'm sure of it, with a great ride. He's broke the New Zealand record this morning.
Elation in the Swiss camp, their first medal. And Tom Bowley, a popular character and deserving winner. 3rd silver medal for Dylan Kennett and bronze for Australia's Morgan.
It was quite a difficult race for me, and I didn't expect something like that I could win as I worked up this morning.
Tom, I thought he was going to go out fast, and I knew that he was going to have a lead on me. I was just hoping that I was going to have the legs to pull him back. I started edging back into his lead, but he was too strong and better than me today, so I see it with another silver. Yeah.
For the women, 2,000 metres and arch pursuing rivals, Australia versus Great Britain, racing for the gold. For Australia, it's Kelsey Robson, just 16 years old from Western Australia, and for Great Britain, 17-year-old Eleanor Barker from Wales, no stranger to this top level of competition. Robson was the faster in qualifying by just over 2.5 seconds, and she also has a gold medal from the first day of racing in the team pursuit.
The Australian is backed up extremely well coming into it. As she makes her way through, it's 2:06 with just a lap to go. So she's threatening that world record time here, the Australian, as she brings it home. She continues to pick the pace up. It's going to be tight, folks, as she comes to the line. Can Australia do it? 2:23.574 versus a 2:27.272. So 2:23.574, but more importantly, for the young lady from Australia, folks, Kelsey Robson. Here she comes. She is your new 2012 Junior World Pursuit Champion.
Gold for Kelsey Robson, and once again, the Australians stand on top of the podium.
Yeah, it's been really good. I mean, it's good to share the first gold that I had with my two, what I would call my closest friends. And then to come out with an individual gold has just topped it off. It's been really great.
Lining up for the men's points race, which is the same format as per the women's race, just a little longer, 25 kilometres or 100 laps. Again, the object is for riders to accumulate points at designated sprints throughout the race, with the added incentive of 20 bonus points if they are able to steal a lap on the field. Ultimately, this leaves two strategies, either to contest as many sprints as possible and play the percentages, or look for the big breakaway and try to get 1 lap or more up on the field. Several riders, including New Zealander Liam Aitchison, were able to do this, which put them all back on an even playing field. So once again, it meant contesting the sprints throughout the race became critical.
Still working well together. As they get themselves set up for the next of the sprints, a bit of a nudge goes on. Aitchison will lead them through. Leishishton, though, is the man that's going to pick up the 5 points. Now, he is purposely hovering off the back of that field so he can get that 5 points, or is he going to join on to the back of them? So here is your lead group coming through now.
The New Zealand rider and the Chilean rider have not got the lap yet. So they are the actual leaders out there on the track. They're racing for the sprint points, but the Russian rider and the Ukrainian rider now have plus 20 as they have caught the main field. Now we see also that the Kiwis and Aitchison and the Chilean have also caught the field, so they should also be given the 20 points for a lap up as well.
As they start picking up down the back straight, the Russians going through, and they're starting to wind things up along with the man from the Ukraine. So they're the two battling it forwards as the Russian looks the wrong way. Sorry, the South African. Belarus goes on through. Ukraine, Russia, right in the mix to pick up themselves.
But down the back, it's the Russian rider, Zakharin, lead the way. Here comes the little rider from the Ukraine coming around as well, Roman Luchin. So Luchin's going to be up there in the points. Can Aitchison get the 2 points? Won't get there, so 49 will take that. That is Roman Luchin of Ukraine.
In the closing stages of the race, it was one of the lesser-known riders, Chung Wing Leung from Hong Kong, who managed to steal his second lap, and those 20 bonus points catapulted him into the lead.
He wants to get the 5 points and get himself onto the back of that main field. Brigade of Belgium, he'll get the 5 points across the line. Our next man across from Hong Kong, Dericourt of Australia, the Canadian in the mix.
Zakharin, the Russian, on 37 points. Liam Aitchison moves up into second place with 33. Luchin, the Ukraine, moves also tied in 33. Then we see the Chilean on 32 and the Belgium and the Hong Kong rider on 30. This is all going to come down to the last sprint to decide the world champion and the second and third place getters.
The second lap for Leung put him in an unbeatable lead as time ran out for the other riders to regain a lap. However, the race was still very much on for the silver and bronze medals.
So a big change in the leaderboard now with 2 laps up the man from Hong Kong. He's on 50 points. Zakharin on 37 and Aitchison on 33, Luchin. So it looks like it's going to come down for the battle for second and third here.
Bell lap this time, it's Belarus in front, Japan in second, the South African there in third, there's the Chilean in fourth, round the back straight, South Africa around the outside, Chilean going with him, where's Aitchison, where's the Russian rider, but the South African rider's going to win the last sprint. Keelan Gavaris wins the last sprint, number 33 will take second, and unfortunately the French rider has fallen down in the front straight, but there's no doubt, ladies and gentlemen, in the red jersey, in the back straight, is our points race winner from Hong Kong, the new points race world champion, Chung Wing Leung.
An historical moment for the Hong Kong team, and great to see one of the smaller cycling nations holding their own on the international stage. Silver went to Russian Adir Zakharin and bronze to Chilean Christian Corneo.
This is the first ever junior world championship in my country, and I have to thank all my coach, my teammates, everyone supported me, behind me, and this is not, the medal is not only for myself, it's for my whole country. Everyone has been part of it.
Another event and another animated crowd, very much looking forward to the women's Keirin. A sprint race raced over 8 laps, riders draw numbers to determine their starting positions. 2 Russians in the final, and Daria Shmileva was hoping to capture her 4th gold medal. New Zealand, meanwhile, was looking for its first, also with 2 riders in the final, Paige Patterson and Kate Dunleavy. On the start line also, Australian Caitlin Ward and American Jennifer Valente. The Keirin is an event that originated in Japan, and the word Keirin translates to fight. The moped or dooney leads off, setting the pace for the first 5.5 laps, slowly picking up the speed. It will eventually swing off and leave the riders to battle it out amongst themselves for the final 2.5 laps.
Start placing your bets now. Who is going to take it out for you? Who looks the best if you've been watching them over the last few days? Who do you think's going to have the nous to find the gaps? One of the Russians sneaks down the inside. That's an interesting manoeuvre with riders underneath, and she's allowed right to the front onto her teammate. As they head down into the back straight, now to the 2 laps to go. The Kiwis start moving up onto the outside as well with Dunleavy. As they wind it up, it's the Russians controlling things here at the moment. The bell's about to ring. Ding-a-ling goes the bell for the world champs. Who will take it out? As they head down the back straight, Shmileva still of Russia on the front. It's Russia 1 and 2. And here comes the Kiwis. 4 wide they go and they get pushed wide. As Russia down the inside, Shmileva's going to hold on to it. She takes it out. Poliskova of Russia into second. Pretty tight for third. But we're going to have to wait for the commissaires, folks. There was all sorts of manoeuvres going on there.
1 and 2 for Russia. And the bronze for American Jennifer Valente, perhaps very lucky to have made it through without getting relegated. And it was the 4th gold medal for Daria Shmileva, just too fast.
So it was the best race for me for these 3-day races. And if, for example, you calculate 2 days before, it's the same as, it's equal to this day, all the emotions.
The men's, Kieran, the same format as the women's, and they're led out by Australian Jacob Schmid, winner of the men's sprint. And there for Russia, Alexander Dubchenko, and for New Zealand, local rider Jeremy Presbury. Jacob Vojvoda is the Czech rider, along with Mexico's Edgar Verdago and the second Australian in the field, Emerson Harwood, silver in the sprint.
3 laps to go. The bike will come off next time round. This is for the World Championship. The Kieran champion of the world about to be decided. Who's it going to be out of these 6 riders? 2.5 laps out. Jacob Schmidt finds himself now in front. He's just controlling the pace at this stage. The big Russian Dubchenko there in second wheel. Presbury in third. Vojvoda in 4th. No one now moving just at this stage. Schmidt looks around to his left shoulder trying to pick the moves coming. 1.5 laps left to go. And it's race time. And it's just 2 Australians now. We've got Schmidt in front. Harwood's made a good move around the outside. Emerson Harwood in front from Australia. Then we see Jacob Schmidt in second wheel. Dubchenko back there in 3rd. Where's Presbury back in 4th? But it's still Harwood in front. Schmidt trying to get to him. Australia 1-2. Russia there as well. Jacob Schmidt, Emerson Harwood and Dubchenko. But Jacob Schmidt will take it out and win the double, the sprint and the Kieran Championship of the world. Emerson Harwood will pick up 3 silver medals in a second, and the big Russian Alexander Dubchenko the third. But the world champion, ladies and gentlemen, from Australia, Jacob Schmidt.
Yeah, it's been absolutely unbelievable. Can't have imagined anything better than it already has been, so yeah, just can't believe it.
Moving on to the Women's Omnium, which was a new event on the Olympic program this year. It's cycling's version of the heptathlon, except 6 events raced over 2 days. It's 1 point if a rider wins an event, 2 for second, and so on down the rankings. And after the 6 events, the points are tallied. The rider with the least amount of points is the winner. Australia's Taylor Jennings, the defending champion, was expected to dominate, and that she did. With 1 event left to race, the 500-metre time trial, Raquel Sheath from Auckland was sitting in the bronze medal position, and she pulled out all the stops in her ride, desperate to hold her place, perhaps even move up into silver. Australian Taylor Jennings was assured of the gold, barring a disaster. She started on the front straight, with Eleanor Barker sitting in the silver medal position on the back.
Taylor Jennings, ladies and gentlemen, is going to cross the line in first place and repeats her achievement of last year in Moscow, Russia, as the Women's Omnium World Champion, winning all 6 events. Her 3rd world title for this event so far, her 5th world title in total over the last 2 years. So an unbelievable achievement.
I'm really happy with the result. I came into this wanting to win 6 rounds again, and I've done it, so I'm very happy. It's pretty exciting that I've done it, and winning them all last year was really good motivation to do it again this year. I didn't want to really go backwards, so yeah.
On to the men's Omnium, and we join the action in the elimination race, where the focus is at the rear of the field. The last rider across the line every second lap is eliminated. Always tight racing, in fact some riders getting too close for comfort. Colombian Fernando Guevara, who was leading the event, came down hard, but after some running repairs he managed to rejoin the race.
The leader, or our series leader, who's fallen, number 9, and there he is in the back straight. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, getting back on his bike there.
He eventually finished second, but it was enough to hold on to his lead and very much keep his medal chances alive. The final event for the men, the 1 kilometre time trial, bandaged up. The Colombian posted the 3rd fastest time, but having a 9-point lead over his nearest rival going into the event, it was more than enough to clinch the gold medal.
And what does he stop the clocks at, folks? 1:03.546. your world champion from Colombia.
That's right, Julian. Great call. Fernando Gaviria Rendon, the world champion, and aren't they ecstatic?
This is how you do it, folks, as world champion. I can even do it on one wheel.
Yeah, he crashed, but still he could continue in both events, and that was the most important. Don't lose the points and nothing like that. That at the end, you know, the Omnium is, if you lose a point at the end, it costs too much, you know. So, but fortunately, he could continue and get the right points in that events, and so it was good.
While the Colombians enjoy success at the velodrome, another South American team enjoying their time in the Deep South are the Mexicans.
Yes, it's my first time, and I think that it's a beautiful country. The people, everything.
It's amazing here. I would definitely come back. Yeah, people are so nice here. It's so beautiful. I love the cold weather, so that's a big plus for me. And everything's so close by. Like, even it's small, but it's a really nice town.
And no trip to Southland is complete without a good old feed of bluff oysters.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
It was different. It was good, but different.
The final event of the championships, the men's Madison, named after Madison Square Gardens, where it originated. It's a teams race, 2 riders per team, and race over 40 kilometres. Like the points race, it's all about accumulating points and sprints throughout the race, plus that added incentive of trying to steal laps on the field. Only one rider is allowed to race at a time, and teammates switch over by hand-slinging one another into or out of the racing action. It's a hugely popular event on the Northern Hemisphere racing circuits, super fast, non-stop action, and invariably some thrills and spills.
So it's a bit like the calm before the storm now, as things just settle down slightly here, as you can see. Oh, the Kiwi and the Aussie just touched wheels there, as a bit of a change was going on.
Dylan Kennett, one half of the New Zealand team, came to grief, getting tangled up with Team Australia. Fortunately, he managed to get back on his bike and was straight back into the thick of the action, making up for lost ground.
And here goes Dylan Kennett, the man from Waimari. As we said, it didn't look like much of a sprint going on, but now the Kiwi's taking advantage of it. Who's going to react to it as he brings McCormick into the race? The two of these men will be joining each other at the Road World Championships in the near future, but it's McCormick now going to show his strength as he goes to the front of the race. And Colombia once again are going to be starting to chase things down. Can the Colombians shut things down as McCormick's got the advantage here at the moment? So Rivera trying to get onto the wheel, but McCormick has still got the gap of 15 metres for the Kiwis, and he's going to secure himself the points for the team as they come through. Kiwis, Colombia, and look at the grimaces on the face. These guys are making everybody work for it here as they head down the back straight.
While the Colombians and Belgians proved to be the teams to beat, the Kiwi duo never gave up with one last-ditch attempt to move up the standings. With 1 lap to go, they had done enough to secure bronze, but it was still game on in the race for gold.
Chile further back, the Kiwis are coming, but Australia's going to take out the final sprint as they come to the line. Australia's going to be too strong. Colombia and Belgium. Belgium will get up to second.
But here is your world champion, ladies and gentlemen, in the front straight, one of the team members, the Colombian rider. There's number 6 there, Gaviria Rendon, Fernando Gaviria Rendon.
As they acknowledge he's been a great supporter, and they're looking for your support. Here they come, folks. They are your junior world champions, Colombia.
Very much an all-round team effort from Colombia, and they'll still be celebrating this one back at home.
We came from far away. Nobody were expecting nothing from us. They had to be training very, very hard before they came here, just to have this form in these World Championships. But here we are, and he got 2 gold medals. He got 1 gold medal and 1 silver medal, so that's enough for us.
I guess you can't control what happens on the day, and we did our best, and we left the track with everything out there, and a bit of Dylan's skin as well. So I think at the end of the day we walk away with our heads held high and know that we've got a big future in front of us.
Unfortunately, no gold for the home team. Nevertheless, 10 medals on the board in total. Once again, the Australians proved they're the young riders to watch for, with Russia too very strong. So after 5 days of racing, with 24 nations represented and 19 world titles decided, the 2012 track cycling season has drawn to a close. So on behalf of the crew and everyone here at the Stadium Southland velodrome, thanks and goodbye.
Bye!
Goodbye! Annyeong!
Adios, New Zealand. Thank you very much.